Hello there and welcome to Homeschooling Adventures. My name is P. Raoni, and in today's video we are going to be looking at grade 12 economics, and in particular we are going to be looking at the income tax tables and the tax calculation. Okay, now to help me do this, we are going to be looking at the exam guideline, which is the current exam guideline that we have, as well as I'll also be using the November NSC 2022 paper 1 question paper, which is the paper that was written last year, and then we'll use that. There's a question that we are going to be using there to try and answer this particular area and help us understand how we are supposed to approach this area in the exam. Okay, right, so to start with, probably the point of departure will be, let's start by looking at our exam guideline. And this one is my exam guideline here, and you can see that the section that we are talking about is the section of budgets, which is a public sector. Okay, and then it's under budgets, and then you do now also need to understand that there is this section where it's written personal income tax tables and tax calculations in brackets. So that's what this video is going to be addressing: the personal income tax tables and the tax calculations. Okay, and then there could be also some other areas where we are going to refresh our memories on the Laffer curve in trying to answer the question. But let's just get straight to it and see how we are supposed to use the tax table. Now, what you need to understand is, when we talk about a tax table, learners, we are saying this is the table that shows the rate of tax that is supposed to be charged per each income level. Okay, in other words, the more the person is going to earn, like in the context of South Africa, the more the person is going to earn, the more the tax that that person is going to be paying. And that system, we now know that system is what is the progressive income tax system. We know it is the progressive income tax system. Okay, now with the progressive income tax system, you would now understand that as the person earns more money, that person is going to pay more in terms of taxes. Okay, progressive income tax. Okay, it's called progressive income tax. Okay, right, now maybe someone will just be wondering, how is this going to happen? Now you would now understand that there is something that is going to be provided in the exam, and probably you are given the tax table. If the examiner is to assess you on this area, then the examiner will give you the tax table that you are supposed to be using, probably in your section B kind of questions, where you are given a scenario and then you are given the text table there, and then they can ask you a number of questions on that text table. But one thing that you need to remember is our system that we use in South Africa is called the progressive income tax system, and what it does is, those people that earn more money, they pay more in terms of taxes, and those that earn less money, they pay less in terms of taxes. Now, for us to get a picture of all this, we are going to be looking at. Okay, so this is the question that we are going to be working with. This is the question that I am taking from the NSC November 2022 economics paper. Okay, and then this one, it came as question 2.2, and then you can see that it's written, the more you earn, the more you pay. It means this one is a progressive income tax system, where if you earn more money, you are going to pay more in terms of taxes. And then if we just look closely at this tax table that we have, this one that you see here is what is called a tax table. Okay, in other words, it shows us the relationship that exists between taxable income and the tax that is supposed to be paid. Okay, now on this side where we have the rate of tax, we have some formulas that are used to calculate different taxes at different income levels. Okay, so these are the different rates of taxes that are charged at different income levels. Okay, for example, if someone is earning 10 rands as income for the whole year, as a taxable income for the whole year, it means that someone is going to be 10 rands. It falls between 1 rand and 216,200. Okay, that's where we have 10 rands. So it means the tax, when calculating the tax for that individual, we are going to be using this formula of 18% of the taxable income. Okay, and then you would also find that if someone is earning maybe 300,000, okay, the whole year, then it means that 300,000, it falls between 216,200 and 337,800. That's where 300,000 is. It's between 216,201 and 337,800. So that's where 300 is. So it means the tax is going to be calculated using this formula of 38,916 plus 26% of the taxable income above 216,200. Okay, so that's how we apply the formulas. Okay, and then now you would also need to understand that there is something that is called marginal rate of taxation. In other words, when we talk about the marginal rate of taxation, I'm just going to say MRT. You would now understand that when we looked at the multiply, we looked at the different types, and I think we're looking at this marginal rate of taxation, marginal propensity to consume, marginal propensity to save, and in grade 10 you also looked at marginal utility and marginal revenue in grade 11, marginal cost in grade 11. Now what this means, whenever there's a word marginal, it means for example, when we're talking about marginal revenue, we're saying it's the additional revenue that is earned from selling an extra unit. And then we spoke about marginal cost. We defined it as the additional cost that is incurred for producing an extra unit. Okay, and then we spoke about marginal utility, and we defined it as the utility, is the satisfaction that is derived from consuming an extra unit. Okay, now what it means is, we are saying whenever we use the word marginal, we are talking about extra. Okay, whenever we talk about marginal, we are talking about extra. So here we are saying the marginal rate of taxation. It means what is the rate of taxation on extra income. Okay, that's the rate of taxation on extra income. So in this case, it would now mean that when we talk about marginal rate of taxation, for example, for someone who is earning maybe 600,000, what is the marginal rate of taxation? The MRT, it means this person falls, if someone is earning 600,000, then they fall in this bracket here. So it means their marginal rate of taxation then becomes 36%. In other words, that's the extra amount, that is the percent that is going to be charged, or that's the rate that is going to be used for someone who has an extra income, because it reads here 36% of taxable income above. So that is extra income, it's above 467. So that's extra income above 467. Okay, so that becomes our MRT. So you need now to understand that these percentages here are what we call the MRTs, or the marginal rate of taxations. Okay, so you are just going to pause the video and you go through the question, and then after going through the question you come back, click play, and then I will be back with the answers to those questions. Okay, you can start now. Now from the questions, I want to believe that you managed to handle the questions. It appeared to be a fairly easy question for us. Okay, but now let's just go through the questions together. Now the question reads, study the table below and answer the question that follow, and we had already studied it. Then question 2.2.1, it read, identify the marginal tax rate for a person earning between 216,201 and 337,800 per month. So it means the person is earning between this, but us what we want to do is we must identify the marginal tax rate. Okay, so it means the person is earning 216, so it means you identify where the bracket that person falls into is this one here. So what it means now is the marginal rate, tax rate is 26%. So in this case it means your correct answer there was supposed to be a 26%. Okay, if you got 26%, you get your 1 mark there. Well done. Okay, then the next question, name the income tax system represented by the table above. Now this you can see that it's written, the more you earn, the more you pay. So what it means now is this one is a progressive income tax system. Why are we saying it's progressive? It's progressive because the more money you earn, the more income you receive, you are going to be paying more in terms of your taxes. So the correct answer there was progressive income tax system. So it was progressive income tax system. That's the correct answer there. Okay, progressive income tax. Okay, progressive. So if you wrote progressive income tax, then you should mark it correct. Okay, and that's the tax system that we are using in South Africa. Okay, then the next one, briefly describe the term fiscal policy. Okay, then now you need to understand that fiscal policy, it looks at the changes in taxation and government spending as a way of trying to influence the level of economic activity. So when it said briefly describe the term fiscal policy, so you were supposed to say a change in taxation and also a change in government spending as a way of trying to influence the level of economic activity. Why? Because here the question says describe. So you were supposed to describe the fiscal policy. And description of the fiscal policy, it looks at changes in taxation and changes in government spending as a way of trying to influence the level of economic activity. So that was the correct answer there. So if you had spoken about changes in taxation and changes in government spending, then you get 1 mark there as a way of trying to influence the level of economic activity. I would give you the 2nd mark. Okay, so those were the key things that you were supposed to have spoken about there. Remember, here the question is asking you to describe. So you were supposed to describe the fiscal policy. Okay, then the next one, explain the effect of high tax rates on taxpayers in a country. So we are talking about high tax rates. What's the effect of high tax rates on taxpayers? Okay, the effects of high tax rates on taxpayers. So it means your answer was supposed to speak to issues of high tax rates, how they affect taxpayers. Okay, so the first thing that you needed to understand was high tax rates, they result in taxpayers mainly leaving the labor market, because normally if the government is charging high taxes, then the people will not find it profitable for them to continue working, so they will end up leaving the labor market. They would rather stay at home and not work than to go to work and be charged higher tax rates. Okay, so that's the first effect. So it results in laborers withdrawing their labor from the labor market. Okay, in other words, households will withdraw their labor from the labor market. And then you would also realize that it also affects businesses, because mostly businesses will end up closing, because those high tax rates, they are going to increase on the cost of doing business. And if that happens, then it means it acts as a disincentive to businesses to continue in operation. So high tax rates will also cause businesses to close down. And then if business close down, then it can be said that high tax rates can result in a reduction in the level of economic activity. Okay, so high tax rates can also come as a way of trying to dampen the level of economic activity. So those are some of the effects that learners could have just given us there, and I was still going to accept those ones as correct. Okay, so you could have spoken about high tax rates discouraging workers and reducing the availability of labor as people pull away from the labor market, or you could have spoken about high tax rates resulting in businesses closing, or you could have spoken about high tax rates reducing on the level of economic activities. Okay, so any one of those, it was going to be accepted as correct. Okay, then the next one is use the information in the table above to calculate the income tax payable if one receives the annual income of 480. If one receives the annual income of 480, and we are supposed to use the tax table to calculate. I'm just going to say annual income tax of 480. We are using that to calculate the income tax. Okay, income tax payable. So I always encourage learners to bring their highlighters into the exam so that we highlight the question paper. And this is what will guide you when you give your answer. So we are saying in this case, you are supposed to calculate income tax payable, and then you should also understand that this individual is earning an annual income of 480. So the first thing that you do is you identify the bracket in which this 480 fits into, and it would appear that 480 is going to feed into the third bracket, which is this one here. That's where the this person fits, because that's where 400 and okay, no, not that one. Okay, not that one. The tax bracket for that someone is this one that we have here. Okay, this is the tax bracket. Okay, where someone is earning 480, it means they fall within 467, 501 and 613. 480 is somewhere in between 467, 501 and 613. That's where we have 48. So this is the tax bracket that we are using, and it would mean that the formula that is going to be used is this one here. And now what do you do when you are calculating the tax payable? You are going to say tax payable is equal to then you give us that formula. It says 100 no, it's 110. Okay, 110. It says 110 739 110 739 plus Okay, 36%, I'll write it like that, of taxable income above what? Above 467 500. Okay, so remember, in the exam, the first thing, because this one is a 4-mark question, the first thing that you must do is you must start by giving us the formula. If you do that, then already you know, thereby picking the correct bracket, already you have your 1 mark there for giving us the formula. So you just give us the formula, identify the bracket here, give us the bracket, then you get 1 mark there. And then you would now find that we now substitute into the formula. It would now mean that my taxable income is going to be, my tax payable is going to be, we said 110,739, okay, times, we said 36%, so I'm going to open a big bracket there, 36% of the amount that is in excess. I'll open a smaller bracket, the amount that is in excess. So in this case, to calculate the amount that is in excess, this person is earning 480,000. So it means we need to know how much is in excess. So it's going to be 480,000, okay, minus, because we want to know how much is in excess, but it's the amount in excess of 467, so it's a 480,000 minus 467 500, okay, 500, okay, right, close small bracket, and then we close the bigger bracket. Okay, so if you go to your calculators and then you punch that in your calculator, you are going to find that the amount that you get there is, okay, it means the amount that you are going to get there is, if you go to your calculator, you are going to end up with this 110, sorry, 7 3 9 multiplied by, okay, I will start by solving the smaller bracket, ne? All right, so it's 36 percent of, if you subtract the 467 500 from 480, your answer that you get there is a 12,500. So it's 36% of a 12,500. Okay, 36% of 12,500. Okay, and then close that bracket. It would now mean that your answer that you are going to get is a 110,739 multiplied by, sorry, not multiplied by, but plus, sorry, plus, this one is a plus here, this one is a plus, this one is a plus here, okay, right? So these are plus, that one is a plus there, that one is a plus there, and this one is a plus. Okay, so it means you are going to get 36% of that. On your calculator you are going to get your answer is a 4,500. Okay, 4,500. Okay, so it means now your answer that you are going to get is a 115 2 3 9. Okay, so remember these are rands, okay, because it's man. Right, so remember now, if you have done this, then it means you have completed. And then the marks, there was a mark that was going to be awarded here, and then here for calculating 36% of 12,500, you get a mark there. And then here for substitution into the formula, you get a mark. And then the other mark was for giving us the formula. So this is how the 4 marks were going to be awarded. Okay, so I think this clarifies on the issues of how we deal with the income tax tables. And you need to practice this section. If you don't understand it still, just try to go through the tax table over and over again and make yourself comfortable. Should the examiner decide to assess you on this area, then you should be able to answer it with no difficulties. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, click the like button and remember to subscribe to the channel. All the best in your studies. I'm out.